Millions of dollars of investment and years of hard work are now piles of ash. We hear from the Recovery Center forced to start over before they ever really began.
Plus, parents are trying to learn more about the budgeting process at Portland Public Schools, what district leaders are saying about the shortfall that's causing dozens of layoffs.
Also ahead, we are just hours away from the WNBA draft and who the Portland Fire will pick to join the team. We have some of the names being tossed around for the 7th overall. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Glad to have you with us on this Monday morning. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by with a look at the weather and traffic. Good morning, gentlemen.
Yeah, good morning. Kind of a quiet weather day, really. We have some scattered, mainly light showers out there currently. That will continue to be the case today. You might find a scattered shower around, but that would be about it. Otherwise, cloudy skies, light west winds. Here's a look at our state capital where it's currently dry. 48 degrees is the number down in Salem. Temperatures are pretty similar in Portland. Right now, PDX reporting 49. You can see the clouds, light winds. Again, we've had some showers overnight, so streetways in your neighborhood probably a little damp. 46 out the door, 53 degrees at lunchtime, and we get up to about 56 when the kids get out of school. A reminder that Washington spring break is over, so school buses will be rolling through the neighborhoods up in Clark County once again today. Back to you.
So let's take you there. We'll take you up to the east side of Vancouver, specifically from Salmon Creek, south of Patton Parkway. Something was hanging up the drive there just a little while ago. We have a little unexpected slowing right now between Salmon Creek and Patton Parkway on I-205 south. Outside of that, the drive actually crossing the Columbia River in pretty good shape for this hour of a Monday morning commute. And after what was a busy morning on the roads with a number of crashes that we had, some on the freeway earlier today, they've all cleared. And the freeway drive looks like this. So we're off to a pretty good start for that back to work, back to school drive. 18 minutes gets you in from Hillsborough, Brookwood Parkway, that is, to I-405. China?
Thank you, Chris. We have breaking news overnight. Oregon State Police say officers shot and killed a man following a traffic stop just west of Rhododendron. Just before 7 o'clock last night, police say they stopped an impaired driver on Highway 26 in Clackamas County. When the trooper tried to contact him, the suspect took off. Officers chased the car until it stopped near the Barlow Trail Roadhouse, where state police say that the driver was shot and died at the scene. No one else was hurt, and it's unclear if any officers have been placed on leave.
Police in Longview arrested a man on murder charges after a deadly shooting at an event space. It happened just before 11 Saturday night at AWPPW Hall off of 15th Avenue. When police got there, they found 2 people with critical gunshot wounds who later died from their injuries. About 200 people were gathered at the time, and people told us that it was for a teen's birthday. We also heard from someone living nearby who moved in just about a week ago.
I think it's horrible. I think that there's just so much violence in this country anymore that it's just becoming out of control, and it's kind of scary that it's a block away from where I live.
49-year-old Andres Carrasco Sanchez was arrested as a suspect after leading police on a chase. Police also found a handgun they say the suspect threw from the car during that chase.
A death investigation is underway after first responders recovered a body from the Willamette River. Someone called 911 just before 11:30 Sunday morning after they found a body near the Maritime Museum along Waterfront Park. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office has acknowledged that this is near where a car crashed into the Willamette and a person went missing early last week, but they cannot say or confirm if the body found was that person until an autopsy is finished.
A SWAT team was called out to Vancouver on Saturday after a man pointed a gun at someone, then barricaded himself inside his apartment. This happened at the Hudson around 2:30 in the afternoon. Because of its location, police shut down southbound to I-5 while officers responded. 58-year-old Terry Myers was arrested on assault charges. Police say they also found multiple weapons at the scene.
In Northeast Portland, a recovery center is forced to start over after its brand new building went up in flames Saturday night. The facility now stands completely charred.
The building hadn't even opened yet and would have helped adolescents recovering from addiction. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is live this morning to walk us through what happened. Thomas.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, that fire happened around 9:45 Saturday night, and with it, 2 years of hard work went up in flames. 4D Recovery raised $5 million for the project. Executive Director Tony Vesna tells us it would have drastically improved group services and would have had everything an adolescent and family members need to overcome addiction and improve a teenager's mental health. The building was located on Northeast 100th and East Burnside. Fortunately, firefighters were able to stop the fire from spreading to nearby homes and businesses. Vesna says this setback is heartbreaking. He compared it to his own journey of addiction and recovery.
My recovery has been 2 steps forward, 1 step back, sometimes 2 step back, 1 step forward. And so it's just a hurdle to get over. And you don't dwell on the past, you look at the future and what you can do, and you get back to work.
Now, the cause of the fire is still under investigation, though Vesna says 4D Recovery is committed to rebuilding this facility to give Portland adolescents resources that they desperately need. Matthew, China.
Thomas Schultz reporting live this morning. Thomas, thank you. Meanwhile, in Salem, a family of 8 was displaced Friday after a house fire. Crews were called just before 2:30 to a home on Alice Street South, where they saw heavy smoke coming from the attic. They were able to put the fire out without anyone getting hurt and kept the fire from spreading to other buildings. The Red Cross, meanwhile, is helping the family with temporary housing, and the cause of the fire is under investigation.
Portland Public Schools parents are trying to learn more about the district's budget process as it faces a multi-million-dollar shortfall. Over the weekend, district leaders held a community engagement event at Kellogg Middle School. They talked about plans to close the $50 million budget shortfall ahead of the next school year. Proposals include closing schools and cutting hundreds of jobs.
And we're no different than any other district that's experiencing declining enrollment. And so our whole purpose is foundationally have well-resourced schools where all of our kids can have access to rigorous, comprehensive programming.
The district senior chief of operations says that district isn't planning to close any schools next year, but the current plan is to have a 2027 budget package ready in November for the school board to vote on in December.
Well, it's 7:07. Time to get back over to Rod for a look at the forecast.
Hey, good morning. Just kind of a typical day for us. Maybe some, but not a lot. Scattered showers will continue to be dotting the radar at any given point today, so expect to find at least a shower or two if you're going to be out and about for any period of time. Here are the clouds from Schnuckwin's Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Current temperature setting at 49 degrees. My clicker seems a little slow this morning. Here's a look at our Cascade Pass cameras. It has been snowing up at Timberline. They've picked up 2 inches of new snow at 6,000 feet. You drop down to Government Camp, it's been holding at 35 this morning. They've had showers, but it's just wet. Same thing for Santee Ann Pass. Although it's 32, you get to Willamette Pass, which is a little bit higher. Now you've got snow showers in the air and snow roadside and some slush on the highways up there. So be prepared. Check conditions before you go. Scattered snow showers over the Cascades expected to continue today. Our temperatures generally were mid to upper 40s, 47 in Battleground, 47 degrees in Wilsonville, and we've got 48 degrees in Salem. For the most part, a scattered shower is in everybody's forecast. If anything, the driest spot today will be in Central Oregon, Bend 52. And notice statewide, temperatures generally not much warmer than 50 degrees. It does show mid-50s here in the valley, which would equal yesterday. Portland could go as high as 58, but that's a cool day. And then tomorrow we start off dry but cloudy. Rain comes in tomorrow afternoon. This will be widespread steady rain ahead of the main event of this week, which is a front that comes in Tuesday overnight. There's a storm watch for the Cascades. We expect heavy snow, including at pass level into Wednesday morning. FYI on that. Right now it looks like we have a couple nice spring days on Friday and on Saturday. And here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, thanks for that. Let's pick it up over the east side. Northbound I-205. Look really closely. ODOT's got their camera here kind of focused through the trees here. That is northbound just past the I-84 interchange. Looks like there's a fender bender that has that northbound right lane blocked, so just be on the lookout for that. Elsewhere in the freeway system, we're drying out, so that's good news. We had some trouble earlier this morning, a number of freeway crashes, in fact, but they're all gone. And with the roads now dry, we're off to a pretty good start on your freeway drive time, so that looks good. And more good news. I'll step out of the way. That is video from early this morning. Photojournalist Eric Patterson manning the wheel of Drive 8, heading over the newly reopened Broadway Bridge. The bridge was closed for 6 months so Multnomah County could do some repairs. It reopened on Sunday, and there is Eric, riding across the bridge this morning. So for the 19,000 or so cars and trucks that use that every day, you are now free to use it. Again, back to you.
It looks like he's the only one right now. Thank you, Chris. Well, people are finding connection in an unlikely place, the sauna. How turning up the heat and sweating it out is helping people bond.
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
What's an age-old tradition that's been transformed in the modern age?
Saunas and bathhouses are a growing trend across the United States with a growing awareness that loneliness and social isolation are harming our health. Lee Waldman takes us inside.
For centuries, people have been flocking to traditional saunas and bathhouses for their health benefits. Jason Goodman has been an avid sauna goer for decades.
The people who use saunas twice a week or more had a 27% decrease in all causes of mortality.
The love of sweat inspired him to start Bathhouse, a modern take on the ancient institution that features saunas, cold plunges, and hot tubs. They offer guided classes or let guests choose their own health adventure.
They're pushing themselves through actually a challenging experience in the sauna. And that when you push yourself through a challenging experience with others, it tends to be bonding. So there's something about it that really brings people together and makes very fast friendships.
While there is alcohol available, that's not what these experiences center around. Priya Shah visited Othership in New York City, which, similar to Bathhouse, promotes social wellness.
We all crave connection, and I think that connection is better built sometimes in these spaces where you already have that common passion for health, wellness, that kind of thing.
That connection is encouraged by instructors and events like stand-up comedy, sound baths, and games. As the sweat flows, so does the conversation.
It was just that shared experience that we had together. And then kind of around the room, there were groups of people that just kind of click. And at the end of the session, they ask you to share what really moved you. And it felt like a real release of emotion.
This growing trend of social wellness isn't just a New York City thing. Jen Verle is the co-founder of Sauna and Sobriety in Minneapolis.
It has just exploded, even over the last year to what's possible. And that's also why I think the sauna guiding and people to kind of lead those conversations and experiences are becoming more sought after.
She shares the same belief as Goodman and Shaw. This growing movement of social wellness comes from the desire for connection, fueled by conversation, not alcohol.
I think it just is a more natural way to help people, figure out where their people are and build those relationships in a much, much different way.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
Wherever you gotta do it, I guess.
I love that people. Because I feel like, I don't know, it's just getting old that when you want to go hang out or meet people, you have to go to a bar, you have to go to a restaurant. She's like, I want to do something else. Bored. So that sounds fun.
Go wine tasting.
I can't remember last time I've been in a sauna. Probably don't necessarily see myself doing it.
Actually, I've never seen
in the near future.
You've been to one of these like that where you walk in, there's like 20 people in them?
Yeah, I went to a really bougie one in New York City like 10 years ago.
Yeah, see, like I wouldn't want to do, like if I'm going to go sit, I'd rather sit in there by myself.
Yeah, I'm
and
with you.
just like not have to talk to anyone.
You have to get to like a mental space to be able to like
20 people in that type of space.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I've never actually seen pictures of that. I guess I didn't know. I know bathhouses in Korea are been going on since the beginning of time. My wife's father, Grandpa Kim, whenever you go to Seoul, he'll go hang out all day. Like, what'd you do? I was in the bathhouse. I'm like, you've been gone for 12 hours.
You're golfing. Your version of golf.
Yes. Actually, that's what my wife says. You're right. It's Grandpa Kim's version of golf. Here's a look at our winter storm watch. This is up for the Cascades starting tomorrow afternoon through the day Wednesday. The biggest event of this week weather-wise is a front that comes in tomorrow night, overnight, clears us by Wednesday morning for scattered precip after that. This was Meadows yesterday, by the way. So let's talk mountain snow for a second. They're now closed for the season, and you can tell why. Look at the image. 35% of average is what the Mount Hood snowpack is back down to. So picking up some snow this week is good news. Winter storm watch again Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday for the Cascades. Snow level tomorrow afternoon, 4,000 feet. I'm not sure if Government Camp is wet or snow covered during the afternoon. It could go either way. Certainly the snow level goes down to 2,000 feet or maybe even 1,500 feet by Wednesday morning. So then everything gets snow covered. And there could be snow over the high Cascade passes of Highway 6 and 26 Wednesday morning as well. Look at Timberline snow projection. 20 inches of snow could come. Today, we're the day ahead of that. We're still in this cool pocket of air. We have scattered showers expected throughout the day, but not a lot of total rain. Really one of those days where from time to time you just have mainly a light passing shower catch you, which is what Futurecast shows at noon, all the little green dots across the area. Here we are at 5 o'clock today. And then this is 2 o'clock tomorrow. This is that wave of widespread steady moisture coming in. So very rainy, turns out to be Tuesday, the back half of the day into the night. This is Wednesday morning. Now the front is passing through, and we've got scattered precip to follow with a chilly northwest flow Wednesday afternoon. Probably some scattered downpours and maybe some hail with those showers coming in Wednesday afternoon as well. Models love this being a big soak. We did pick up around a half of an inch of rain. Some areas got more from the shower and thunderstorm activity we had last Friday. Remember that. The biggest storms ended up kind of pushing in between Salem and Portland. This time around, this shows well over an inch at the coast, well over an inch at the valley, and I think that's got a good chance of coming true. Kind of a cool look at the clouds currently over the Reserve Golf Club from the Explorer Tualatin Valley camera. 48 degrees looking out over the golf course. 51 in the Dalles, the warm spot, cold spot in Baker City at 32. Valley forecast numbers today will hold in the 50s with scattered showers. West winds 5 to 15. Total rain amounts probably well under a tenth of an inch. So again, one of those days where it's just a shower or two around. Tomorrow the rain picks up in the afternoon. The heavy showers Wednesday afternoon. Sun and scattered showers Thursday as we start to calm down. And right now the potential of a couple of nice spring days Friday and Saturday before rain returns on Sunday. Here's Chris.
Rod, we pick it up over on the east side. One trouble spot right now on northbound 205. You'll have to look really closely. ODOT's using one of their cameras from I-84 to focus on it, so it's shooting through some trees there, but you see some flashing lights off in the distance. So yeah, this is northbound, just past the I-84 east exit prior to where I-84 west comes in northbound 205. We've got green on the traffic map, so we're generally light volume still across the freeway system this morning in pretty good shape. Here's I-5 through North Portland, that southbound commute, a little tight near Lombard as always. 13 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Quick check of the Sylvan Hill. We could do a lot worse than that for this hour of a Monday morning commute, guys. How about that? 15 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough.
Not bad, Chris. Thank you very much. Well, the Blazers have earned a spot in the NBA's play-in tournament after closing out the season with a home win against Sacramento. The Blazers led the entire way last night, taking home a 122 to 110 win over the Kings. Now, after their win against the Clippers on Friday, that secured the 8th seed in the Western Conference. So looking ahead, the Blazers will now face the Suns in Phoenix on Tuesday, with the winner advancing to the playoffs to face the Spurs. If Portland were to lose that game in Phoenix on Tuesday, They would then host a do-or-die game Friday night at the Lloyd Center against the winner of the matchup between the Clippers and Warriors.
As for the Portland Fire, ahead of their first tip-off of the new season, they're adding some big names to the roster, signing two from the Minnesota Lynx from the expansion draft, Bridget Carlton and Carly Samuelson, and from the Las Vegas Aces, signing center Megan Gustafsson. And the Fire now have 7 of their 12 roster spots, leaving some gaps to be filled during tonight's WNBA draft. Now, the Fire are sitting in the 7th spot, and some potential picks have been floating around mock drafts, like UCLA guard Gabriela Jaquez. And ESPN has the Fire selecting point guard Iana Martin from Spain, or French forward Nell Angloma. Sports Illustrated linking Portland to LSU guard Flau'jae Johnson.
And today, the Fire hosting a draft watch party at the Lloyd Center. Doors open at 3 o'clock before the draft starts at 4. There will also be panels with players from the Fire and coaching staff, as well as Fire merchandise for sale and a chance to take photos with players. Tickets are available on Ticketmaster. They are free, but fans must have a ticket in order to get in.
President Trump announcing a new blockade on Iranian oil beginning this morning. I'm Alice Barr in Washington with the latest details coming up.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Starting at 10 o'clock Eastern this morning, President Donald Trump says the U.S. Navy will start blocking Iranian oil shipments from passing through the Strait of Hormuz.
That's as face-to-face negotiations with Iran over the weekend ended without a peace deal. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington, D.C.
A new pressure point emerging as following this weekend's failed peace talks with Iran, President Trump announced a blockade of all Iranian oil beginning at 10 o'clock this morning.
Other nations are working so that Iran will not be able to sell oil, and that would be very effective.
U.S. Central Command said it would enforce the blockade on all Iranian ports and coastal areas, but not ships moving between non-Iranian ports. Iran's armed forces warned they would consider warships approaching the Strait of Hormuz as a violation of the two-week ceasefire. The U.S. hoping economic pressure will force Iran to reopen the strait, but oil prices surged and stock futures slumped on word of the blockade. As President Trump acknowledged gas prices may not be lower before the November midterm elections.
I hope so. I mean, I think so. It could be or the same, or maybe a little bit higher, but it should be around the same.
Vice President J.D. Vance led the U.S. team in Pakistan in direct negotiations with Iran that he said broke down over the administration's core goal.
We need to see an affirmative commitment that they will not seek a nuclear weapon. We haven't seen that yet. We hope that we will.
President Trump asked how long he'll wait for Iran to come back to the negotiating table.
I don't care if they come back or not. If they don't come back, I'm fine. Their military is gone.
That as new U.S. intelligence reporting suggests China is planning to give Iran more air defense weaponry in the coming weeks, according to a person with knowledge of the matter. If that happens, President Trump said he'd hit China with a 50% tariff. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
President Trump is criticizing Pope Leo after the Pope condemned the U.S. war with Iran. The president took to social media saying Pope Leo is weak on crime, weak on nuclear weapons, terrible for foreign policy, and should get his act together and stop catering to the, quote, radical left.
We don't like it. We don't like a pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo.
Pope Leo responded to President Trump's comments, telling NBC News in part, quote, I have no fear for the Trump administration or speaking out loudly the message of the gospel, which is what I believe I am here to do, what the church is here to do.
Meanwhile, wildfire season may still be a few months out, but crews are already taking action now. Coming up, how the National Guard is helping protect homes in Happy Valley.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We're coming up on 7:29 on your Monday morning drive, and after some earlier trouble, we're actually in pretty good shape out there. I mean, we've got our slow spots. There's the Banfield out near I-205, that westbound, well, we'll get back to that. The I-5 drive through North Portland up to 15 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. That said, that's not bad. And here's the Banfield, westbound 84, a little slow coming in from Gateway. Right now it's about a 21-minute commute to get you in from Troutdale west to the I-5 split.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. One of those typical scattered shower days for us. The showers never really amount to much of anything, but they may find you from time to time. Here's the radar behind me this morning. We've got showers out east and here on the west side. Vancouver, the Springs to the waterfront. Looking at the Columbia, 49 is the temperature. It'll be a cool day. There have been some breaks in the cloud cover, but overall mostly cloudy. 53 at noon, 58 degrees or cooler for a high today. Now tomorrow afternoon, steady rain arrives, and this is the main event of the week. Steady rain all of Tuesday evening, Tuesday night, breaks into showers Wednesday, but Wednesday afternoon there could be scattered hail showers.
Good morning. More than a dozen earthquakes were detected off the Washington coast this weekend. The storm along the Juan de Fuca Ridge started just after midnight on Sunday. The ridge is about 250 miles off the coast, and none of the earthquakes was large enough to feel on shore. The largest was 4.2. 18 quakes have been detected so far, and experts say the storm poses no danger to people on land.
Famous last words always.
I was going to say,
Nothing.
Is there wood that I can knock on somewhere?
Oh, man.
That's a lot, dozen? I don't know.
Yeah,
It feels like it. I don't know if that's
assume
normal.
the way the story was read that it's fairly normal, but
Yeah.
catches your attention for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, it does.
Here's a look at what's going on weather-wise. Not a bad day today, just kind of our typical quiet, mostly cloudy day with a few scattered showers here and a few scattered showers there. Salem right now is all dry, 48 degrees. Here's the Providence Park camera. Clouds up over the West Hills, and you can see things are a little wet. You look at the canopy over the stadium there. 48 is the temperature. So our day, 53 at noon. Definitely a jacket, sweatshirt kind of day. It'll be cool like it was yesterday. The high on Sunday was only 55. I've got 58 today. That may be too warm. So certainly staying in the 50s. Here's Chris.
Well, Rod, thank you for that. After some early morning trouble in the freeways, we had a couple of crashes. We had a road blockage earlier today. I'm happy to tell you that all of those incidents have cleared. And for right now, with the rain lightening up or shutting off, actually, we've got dry pavement out there. We've got a couple of slow spots. I-5 southbound through North Portland, slow and steady from Columbia Boulevard down past Lombard. Right now, it's a 15-minute commute to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Quick check at the Banfield. This is I-84 westbound traffic. That's a little thick coming out of the Gateway District towards 82nd Avenue. And door number 3, of course, slow and steady, as you would expect for this hour of Monday morning commute at the Sylvan Hill. Right now, we're looking at about 18 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough to downtown. Matthew?
Chris, thank you. Well, Wednesday is the state and federal tax filing deadline, and the Oregon Department of Revenue is reminding people not to wait. Officials say filing at the last minute can lead to delays or missed refunds. The state says nearly half of all tax returns come in during the final 2 weeks before tax day. Right now, they say they've processed about 1.6 million out of the 2.2 million returns they're expecting from Oregonians. Filing electronically is still the fastest option, but if you're planning to mail your return, the state says to send it in early, especially with postal delays that could impact postmarks.
If you need help, on our website, we have a Get Free Help with Filing Your Taxes page. And if you go to that page, there's a map there that'll show you where you can find help near you. And there's also a list of free software products that you can use.
Another thing to keep in mind, if you wait too long to file, you may need to go in person to get it stamped at the post office before that April 15th deadline.
What this morning, TSA workers at PDX are calling for an end to the DHS shutdown and pay for employees.
Late last month, President Trump signed an executive order to pay TSA workers, but Congress has still not reached a long-term agreement to fund DHS. Today, as the shutdown stretches past 50 days, the longest in U.S. history. Meanwhile, Democrats and Republicans in D.C. continue to spar over DHS funding, specifically over immigration enforcement tactics.
The trouble is both sides talk over each other. You know, the Senate had that compromise bill before they came back for break, but then the House rejected that. They came up with their bill that the Senate wouldn't pass, so they have to come up with something and stop using federal employees like TSA as bargaining chips.
The Union for Local TSA Workers say 400 TSA workers here at PDX are not scheduled to receive their next paycheck.
Well, developing this morning, Washington state officials say a private company is defying a federal court order and continuing to block health inspections at the ICE detention center in Tacoma. In 2023, Washington lawmakers allowed the State Department of Health to conduct unannounced inspections of private detention facilities. After a legal battle, a federal appeals court ruled in the state's favor, but state officials say that inspectors are still being turned away. Advocacy groups say that this is concerning, but not surprising.
We've documented over 2,000 complaints from people in detention and submitted that to the Department of Health, and yet they still are not able to go in and inspect this privately owned and operated business.
Governor Bob Ferguson is now accusing the GEO Group of obstructing inspections, saying that the state will do what it takes to get inspections inside. Well, President Donald Trump has approved a major disaster declaration for Oregon and Washington related to the winter storm in mid-December that caused major flooding and landslides. Here in Oregon, FEMA announced federal disaster assistance for multiple counties, including Clackamas, Hood River, Lane, Lincoln, Lynn, Polk, Tillamook, Union, and Yamhill.
As we get closer to the summer months, wildfire risk is top of mind for many people, and that's why the city of Happy Valley enlisted the help of some Oregon National Guard troops to clean up the forest floor at Mount Scott Nature Park in Clackamas County. They got rid of downed branches and trees since the park is close to nearly 100 homes.
What we're doing is taking a lot of the heavier fuels and removing those so we can keep the fire intensity, if there's a fire here, low and on the ground where firefighters like myself can go in and suppress the fire.
This project was made possible by a $65,000 grant from the State Fire Marshal's office.
3, 2, 1, here it is.
Another Mariners legend is now immortalized in bronze outside T-Mobile Park in Seattle, but the unveiling didn't go as planned. Ichiro's bat was bent as the sheet was being pulled off his new statue. But Ichiro is one of the only 7 players with at least 3,000 career hits and 500 stolen bases. Last July, he became the 3rd Mariner to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And I think they had like bobbleheads, or at least they did in like the sound booth, and somebody bent the bat and said, well,
how flimsy is the bronze that they're using for these statues?
I know.
That this sheet pulling it off bends it.
Well, I heard that somebody said, "What? You told me aluminum, no bronze. Use bronze."
Oh, because you know kids are going to be playing on it and pulling it, and a sheet took it off.
It's a little goofy, isn't it?
Not a good look, no.
Yeah. Have to fix that, obviously. So look at our radar, which shows scattered showers today. This is nothing organized. It's just a typical scattered shower day. And, you know, I always tell it's tough to pinpoint where they're going to be and exactly how many we're going to see or not. There's never going to be anything organized today. But if you're out and about for an extended period of time, have a rain jacket and assume you're probably going to get caught by a shower or two at some point. Futurecast at 1 o'clock shows mostly scattered light showers. And then here we are going dry this evening and tonight and tomorrow morning. The big event of this week is a steady rain push that comes in tomorrow afternoon. Here we are at 2 o'clock. And then that rain just continues to fall all of the evening. Here we are at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. The front behind all this will come in, it looks like, first thing Wednesday morning and break up the steady rain. But we'll get scattered, spotty downpours to follow on Wednesday. Right now, we have cloudy skies over the city. The cloud deck is low. We're at 49 degrees. A couple of German Shepherds. Here they are, Emerson and Joey, for our pets of the day on this Monday. Beautiful German Shepherds. Pet of the day at KGW.com is the email address. And here's a look at our temperature map this afternoon. Everybody has at least a rain threat. Temperatures only 40s. To low to mid 50s statewide. It's a pretty cool day with a lot of cloud cover across our entire region. 58 at most for Portland. Tomorrow the dry start, but then the rain in the afternoon, 54. The hail showers scattered with downpours on Wednesday. Thursday's the day that starts to quiet down, and then a couple of nice spring days to follow on Friday and Saturday. Right now, Sunday looks rainy. Here's Chris.
Hey, how about some good news on a Monday morning? I'll show you some video that photojournalist Eric Patterson captured before sunrise. He was rolling over the newly reopened Broadway Bridge. The bridge, of course, was shut down for 6 months so that Multnomah County could do some repairs to the lift deck. It is open. It opened yesterday. That means it's also open to the Portland streetcar as well. That'll be rolling across the bridge throughout the day and moving forward. Just a word to note, there will be another weekend closure coming up next weekend of the Broadway Bridge, so just be aware of that. But for now, you're good to go. All right, back to the freeway drive. We've dried out, and after earlier trouble on the roads, things are in much better shape. There's the Banfield, a little tight coming in from the Gateway District. And of course, we're always slow at the Sylvan. What happened there? Let me go back. Door number 3 should take us to the Sylvan Hill. That's weird. Anyway, all right, let me go ahead and show you the inbound drive time. 21 minutes now. Get you from Hillsborough to downtown. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. From one statue to another, hundreds of people celebrated the long-awaited return of a statue to downtown Portland. How they welcome back the Thompson Elk back to its new and improved mantle.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
After being lowered back into place Thursday, yesterday the ribbon was cut on the freshly restored Thompson Elk fountain.
Yeah, KGW's Jay Coulter was there and spoke with people about what this piece of Portland history means to them.
A celebration in the park blocks marking the official return of the Thompson Elk fountain.
I'm born and raised in Portland, so like the elk is like just a huge symbol of our city. It's just really nice to have it back.
The iconic statue was removed in 2020 and went through a lengthy restoration process. City leaders say damage at the base of the fountain was significant following protests downtown.
It's been really strange driving by it, the just empty stand for a while.
The elk, now shiny and new, facing the West Hills, adorned with a wreath of flowers.
It feels like a moment of bringing back the heart of our city and the community spirit that makes Portland special.
Plenty of speakers and performances Sunday afternoon.
Let's go!
Mayor Keith Wilson pleased by the hearty turnout.
It means Portland is bursting with pride. I mean, we see the value of caring for our community, and you see the difference between last year and the years before. A hopefulness, a renewal, a renaissance, and the elk is just a manifestation of the city really turning around. Portland's back.
All told, the restoration cost a little more than $2 million. Jay Coulter, KGW News.
An update this morning, advocacy groups are appealing a plan to redevelop the Lloyd Center. This comes a month after Portland's Design Commission approved a plan to create a new multi-use site with housing and retail space. Owners of the mall say that these appeals would just lead to further delays at a time when the city needs housing and investment. Advocates argued that can still happen without completely doing away with the mall.
The appeal is really our last formal opportunity to say, hey, look, no, we think you're making a mistake. We're here saying, look, let's do this in a more sort of phased, sane way where we keep what's working about the mall, condense some of these businesses closer to the ice rink.
This appeal is limited to the future redevelopment plans for the Lloyd Center, not the demolition of the mall. That is still set to happen before the end of the year.
Said, which way are you headed, boy? Do you need some company?
That man is just one of the talented performers that you can catch during tonight's episode of The Voice here on KGW.
And 9 singers will compete in tonight's semifinals in hopes of advancing to tomorrow's finale. NBC's Mark Barger brings us a preview.
The winner of this knockout is McKinley.
Each of The Voice's 3 coaches will bring 3 singers into Monday night's semifinals.
By the time you get here to this level, there's 9 people left. Like, they don't suck, y'all. Like, they're really good.
But there is still pressure both to sing well and to choose just the right song.
It's more about, look, why did you pick this song? It's got to be a competitive song, and if it's not, we got to make it that way. So, because at the semifinals, you really want them to stand out.
Stand out enough to impress voters who know exactly what the singers are going through.
I don't think I felt nerves like that before or since.
I just love being here and not being so scared and stressed out and anxious.
This is the best stage you're ever going to sing on. Enjoy every second.
Oh my God.
More than 60 former Voice contestants
It's just really awesome to be back in the atmosphere.
are being brought back to vote in real time for the performances.
You just want to see a great show. Want to see these kids knock it out of the park.
The votes from the Voice alumni, along with a group of superfans, will move 4 singers into Tuesday night's finale, and that same group will decide the season 29 champ.
The Voice changed my life, so to be able to have a hand in maybe changing someone else's life is incredible.
For someone, the Voice finish line will become a new starting line.
That's what you made me feel.
Mark Barger, NBC Entertainment.
I generally don't know that I've ever seen an episode of The Voice.
Ever?
Well,
I don't think so.
now you should.
I guess tune in to the semifinals tonight.
If I could sing, I would never shut up. You would be so tired of hearing me sing.
Well,
Really?
if our viewers could hear you during the commercial breaks.
That's not singing. I don't know what that is, but that's not singing.
I don't know what to make out of that, China.
What?
About if you could sing, if you could sing, meaning it would be lovely, but you would do it all the time. And
I would
so
never
I don't-
shut up. You'd be so annoyed.
I suppose after a while it would wear on me. You're right. Here's a look at our Timberline Lodge camera. We've got snow showers up there, 29 degrees, not terribly cold, but they've picked up 2 inches of new snow. Today it's just snow showers, like it'll be scattered rain showers in the valley. Here's the headline of the week. Winter Storm Watch starts tomorrow afternoon, goes through the day Wednesday for both the Washington and Oregon Cascades. Latest modeling shows, hey, pretty good, 15 inches of snow. Projections for Timberline go as high as 20 inches. Government camp, it's kind of tough to tell because the snow when it starts will be near to above 4,000 feet for sticking snow. But if government camp starts to stick at some point during the daytime tomorrow, then at least 8 inches, I would say, at pass level. Certainly we expect snow-covered passes Wednesday morning. Snow levels could go not only down to 2, but all the way down to 1,500 feet. If that's true, we would have some snow over Highway 6 and 26 of the Coast Range Wednesday morning. So FYI on all of this. We're in a cool pocket of air right now. The low pressure center, the one that drove the thunderstorms we had in the valley last Friday, if you remember those. Some folks got a really good light show, but not everybody. Anyway, that low is kind of weakened and pushed inland. You really can't make it out right now, but it's still overall the anchor of this cool pool of air that's producing clouds and scattered showers on the radar. Nothing ever gets organized today. It's just if you're going to be outside for a couple of hours, odds are good that you'll find a shower or two meet up with you. Here's Futurecast at noon today. Scattered shower threat out in eastern Oregon as well. But again, just mostly frivolous showers. I mean, frivolous unless you're working and it catches you at an inopportune time. Here we are, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. This is the steady push of moisture raining all of Tuesday evening, night. Wednesday early morning, the front is passed. Scattered heavy showers to follow with snow showers continuing on Wednesday and maybe some hail showers mixed in. Modeling likes this being a really good soak up and down I-5. It shows Kelso 1.38, over an inch down in Eugene, 1.9 in Newport, and 0.3 in John Day, and 33 100ths out in LeGrand. So again, that's rain that comes in Tuesday afternoon through the day Wednesday. Right now, we're mainly cloudy. We have a few scattered showers around. It's upper 40s from Kelso through Portland, Salem, and Eugene. The forecast for today will stay in the 50s. Could be some sun breaks, but overall a mostly cloudy day with light west winds and temperatures no warmer than about 58. The rain tomorrow afternoon gets going. Thursday, everything starts to quiet down with sun and scattered showers. And then right now, Friday and Saturday look to be 2 nice spring days, warming back up into the 60s. And here is Chris McGinnis.
You feel chilly this week after last week. All right, let's get you over the east side. I do have some new trouble. We need a wrench, a screwdriver, or maybe a tow truck. That's what that emblem means. Disabled vehicle right now, I-205 southbound. It's actually it appears to be on the ramp from 84 west to 205 south, and it is backing up the drive now. So 84 west trying to get onto 205 south, that transition near Rocky Butte running a little extra busy. So give yourself a few extra minutes to get around that. There's the live look, and you can see stop and go right now. That's never good on a freeway. To the south side of town, I-5 through Wilsonville. The headlights here headed northbound from the Boone Bridge up past Wilsonville Road. That drive's not in too bad a shape. And last but not least, door number 3 takes us over to the Sylvan Hill. Highway 26, slow and steady coming in from Hillsborough. That's jumped up to about 23 minutes at last check from Brookwood Parkway to I-405. Matthew?
Thank you, Chris. In our latest edition of Local Lift, we visit a nonprofit helping kids in foster care make vital connections. How parenting with intent is creating a community outside of the system.
I'm David Mulco, the evening anchor at KGW. Though when I'm not working, I like to spend as much time as possible out here in nature. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. You see, what happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to talk about it, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Our Local Lift series highlights nonprofits making a difference, and today we're introducing you to Parenting with Intent. The nonprofit's mission is to help foster care youth and families build relationships and skills. Devin Haskins has more.
Parenting with Intent started in 2011 with a simple but important idea that kids in the foster care system need more than just services. They need real, consistent relationships and support.
I think it's really important because every single kid deserves to be seen as so special.
Executive Director Ashley Woodcock says PWI serves about 200 youth in foster care and dozens of families. They offer 3 main services in family, youth, and mental health.
We love these children and work really hard to make it feel like they're just natural parts of our lives.
The programs help keep kids safe in their homes while working with families. They help kids and families access quality mental health services. And in their mentorship program, they pair youth with trusted adults, a relationship often lasting years.
Our goal in that service is to partner with youth as they experience the foster care system, hopefully for many years, so that they have somebody that they know believes in them and can see those special things in them that maybe no one else is going to see.
For Riley Nicholson, that support made all the difference.
Without PWI, I would still be lost. I feel like I wouldn't have found myself.
Now at 21 and aged out of the system, he says PWI gives him a community.
It's been very beneficial in a lot of ways to have this community like emotionally support me and financially, and it's been great because it's a family outside of the family I didn't really get.
Under the umbrella of youth services is PWI's FLY program, or Financial Literacy for Youth. It's made possible through a partnership with Rivermark Community Credit Union.
One of the gaps that we often see with kids is that they come out of, as they're getting older and getting ready to age out, they just don't have the life skills that like a parent would be teaching them.
To help close that gap, Rivermark works with PWI to provide financial education, teaching things like banking, budgeting, and planning for the future.
Not only are they committed to providing the service and investing in the service and investing in our kids, but their staff are like understand our population in a way that most professionals outside of this field often don't.
Together, they're helping young people build not just skills, but stability. Relationships that, for those like Riley, can last far beyond the system. Devin Haskins, KGW News.
And check this out. We caught up with some local athletes who are training for an upcoming triathlon. They were alongside other blind or visually impaired athletes and their guides who all gathered at Captain Clark Park in Washougal this weekend. With the help of the volunteer guides, they will run, bike, and swim during the Columbia River Triathlon in August. They're supported by the Northwest Association for Blind Athletes.
I just know that everybody in general has a hard time with regular fitness if they're not in the habit. And I'm aware that the blindness population, because of the insecurity and difficulty of moving around independently, they need a boost.
And there's also the mental health aspect of socializing with other people. The association is always looking for people willing to become volunteer guides. Well, coming up at 8, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with a makeover for hundreds of Starbucks coffee shops.
A look at the redesign the company hopes will bring customers in.